welcome back to another video. My name is Jill and today I'm going to be doing a fall new releases book haul and unboxing. So let's just get started. So I was originally planning on waiting to film this book haul until like the end of September, middle of October, because there are lots of books that are coming out towards the end of September that I'm also anticipating, but I have accumulated a pretty large amount of books just from the first half of September, and so they're taking up my floor space, and so I decided just to do a haul today. So there might be a part 2 to this video coming in a few weeks or something like that. I don't really know. Just all of these books are taking up so much of my floor space, so I just had to show them to you guys. So I have an unboxing from Barnes & Noble, I also have some ARCs, and I also have some other random things that I didn't get from Barnes & Noble. So yeah, let's just get into it. So the first book that I got was one that I've been anticipating for an extremely long time, and that is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo, and this is actually a signed copy, and I was super excited for that. Leigh Bardugo is one of my favorite authors ever. She is 100% an auto-buy author for me, so no matter what she writes, I will 100% pick it up, and I love Wonder Woman, especially after the latest movie. I love her so much, and to have a book written by Leigh Bardugo about Wonder Woman just signed me up. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it, but the people that I have heard said that it was good, but not amazing, so I have high hopes for this one. Hopefully my hopes are met. Next up, I got The Dazzling Heights by Katherine McGee, and this is the sequel to The Thousandth Floor by her that I read earlier, a couple months ago, and oh, that's so pretty. Basically the first book takes place in this futuristic world where there is a 1,000-story tower, and the tower is basically broken up depending on your wealth, and so it follows about 5 different perspectives. It's kind of trash, but I actually ended up really liking it. Towards the end it sort of gave me Pretty Little Liars vibes, and so I was super excited to get the sequel and to see if it's better. I've heard that this book is way better than the first one, and so I'm super excited. Plus the cover is, oh, it's to die for. Next up, I got Mask of Shadows by Lindsay Miller. As much as I know this book is a YA fantasy book following a gender fluid character, which I've never seen before, so I am beyond excited for this. It takes place in a kingdom where the main character really wants to be part of the Queen's guild of assassins, but you have to audition to be part of this assassin group, and apparently the auditions are quite something, and you know what, that's all I really know. I saw YA fantasy plus gender fluid, and I'm like, yes, this is everything I've ever wanted. Next up, I got a book that I'm actually currently reading, and that is Roar by Cora Carmack, and I'm about this much through it right now, and this book, okay, I don't know what I was expecting it to be, but it has thoroughly impressed me. Now, I will say, it is very obvious that this book was written by a romance author. That's just obvious. So it's a little bit trashy at points, and it's a little bit cliche and a little bit cheesy at points, but the world, guys, is so freaking cool. It centers around storms, and the fact that you can conquer storms and take the heart of the storm, and the ability to be able to defeat these storms gives you a lot of power. And so it follows this princess named Aurora, and she is the heir to one of the most powerful stormling families, but she doesn't have any magic to take down these storms, which is awful because every single heir to this king, in order to rule this kingdom, you have to have stormling magic. And so in order to sort of hide this fact, her mother tries to make this marriage alliance with this other guy, and it just kind of goes from there. I don't really want to give much away because I kind of went in knowing nothing, and it has thoroughly impressed me. I'll talk about more in my September wrap-up because I'm almost done with it, but this one really surprised me in lots of different ways. And next up, I have Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. This is going to be one of my book club books for the month of November, and so I decided to pick it up now. E. Lockhart wrote We Were Liars, which I really liked at the time, but as time kind of went on, I sort of have changed my opinion, and I don't really think that it's all that great anymore. Everyone that I've seen talk about this book just reads the summary because it's so strange and it's so mysterious, and it really hooks you, the summary does. It says, Imogen is a runaway heiress, an orphan, a cook, and a cheat. Jewel is a fighter, a social chameleon, and an athlete. An intense friendship, a disappearance, a murder, or maybe 2. A bad romance, or maybe 3. Blunt objects, disguises, blood, and chocolate. The American dream. Superhero, spies, and villains. A girl who refuses to give people what they want from her. A girl who refuses to be the person she once was. that is extremely intriguing. Hopefully E. Lockhart sort of redeems herself in my mind, because like I said, after like thinking about We Were Liars, even though like I liked it when I finished it, my opinion of it has kind of like went downhill a little bit, so hopefully I like this one. Now I'm going to get into my unboxing from Barnes & Noble, and admittedly I've already opened this because I had one thing in here that wasn't a book, and so I wanted to take that out, but I haven't taken any of the books out yet, so let's just get into this. I'm not gonna be able to hold this box, guys, so just trust me. Okay, so the first book that I see from this box is one that has been a really long time coming, and that was Because You Love to Hate Me by all of these different YA authors, and this is the villain anthology that is written by, like I said, all of these YA authors, but also the intro was written by a bunch of booktubers, like including Jessie and Zoe and Christine and Raylene and Reagan and like all of these other different people, and I love villains, I love dark stories, and so I'm really hoping that this book is great, and it has a ton of different YA authors, like I said, like Renee Ahdieh, Victoria Schwab, Andrew Smith, Nicola Yoon, Adam Silvera, some of my favorite people ever, and so yeah, this one should be really good. The next book that I'm seeing is Little Monsters by Kara Thomas, and I have Kara Thomas's other book, but I haven't read it yet. It's called like The Darkest Corners or something like that, and I actually met this author for her first release, and I loved her so much, but I've heard fantastic things about this book. I know that it is a YA thriller, but also some people are saying that it's a YA adult like crossover thriller, which I am all for, and obviously since it's a thriller I'm going to go in completely blind, so I don't really have a summary for this one, but the cover's really pretty and I've heard fantastic things about it. I'm so excited for this next book, guys, like you don't even know, and that is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I'm so incredibly excited for this book. Oh my god, I love Adam with all of my heart. Like I love him so much, and this book just sounds fantastic. I'm sure this is such a popular release, everyone probably knows what it's about, but if in case you don't, it's set in the real world but with a tiny little twist where there's this thing that exists called Deathcast, and on the day that you're going to die you get a phone call saying that you're going to die that day, but you don't know when and you don't know how. And basically there's this app called the Last Friend app, I think, and you can meet other people that are going to die that day, and I think it has a lot to do with like living life to the fullest and living every day like it's your last and things like that, and I cannot wait because I love Adam so much, and the end paper, can we just, I love Adam, I love everything about him, I can't. Oh, this book is so beautiful. The next book that I got was The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell, and like I just love the entire design of this book. Like it's so freaking pretty. I know this book takes place in modern day New York, and where magic is basically all but extinct, and there are these people called the Magis, I think, something like that, and basically there is this dark spell over the city of Manhattan to where if these magical people cross the line, it basically means that they lose their magic or they die, or terrible things happen to them. So I know it also follows a girl, and I think she goes back in time to steal this book that has a spell that can break the terrible curse that's over Manhattan or something like that. It sounds really cool. I'm hoping that this is worth it because it's a pretty big book with pretty small font, but I love the back of this so much, so I had to get it, okay? It's so pretty. In this book. Okay, finally got Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. This is a special Barnes & Noble edition. It says it has bonus content. What does that mean? Oh, it has her notes, I guess, for the, I'm not gonna read those, but I think it has like her annotated notes for the book. So this is Kale's novel from the Throne of Glass series. I've heard fantastic things so far. PSA that I hate Kale with every fiber of my being, so I'm very hesitant going into this just because I hate him so much, and having a whole book of him is just something that I don't want to experience. But I know that Sarah says that you have to read this in order to read the 7th book in the Throne of Glass series, considering that this is considered like the 6th book in the Throne of Glass series. I don't know. I'm going to read it. I think I'm going to reread The Assassin's Blade beforehand though. Anyway, so I have high hopes that Kale is going to be redeemed for me in this book because I really dislike him so much, and I've heard so many people say it's great, so I have high hopes for it. And then I got 2 more Colleen Hoover books. I as you guys know, I'm slowly making my way through Colleen's books because I love them so much. The first one is It Ends With Us, and like whenever I talk about Colleen Hoover, I get a plethora of comments telling me to read this one because this is like her latest book, and apparently it's fantastic and it hits people really hard, and I'm so excited. I love Colleen Hoover. I know that she is not perfect. Her books do not contain the absolute perfect content, and I'm aware of that, but I still really enjoy them regardless of that, so yeah. The next book is a little bit of a controversy, but that is November 9 by Colleen Hoover, and I decided to pick this book up because I know there's so much controversy surrounding this book, and lots of people say that it promotes an abusive relationship and all that kind of stuff, and I'm aware that lots of people strongly dislike this book and really just think that it does things very wrongly, and I'm aware of that. And so going into this book, I'm going to be looking specifically for those things, but I've also talked to people who said that that's not necessarily true, and so I really just wanted to end the debate in my head and pick this book up and read it and form my own opinion, and I don't think that I should be faulted for that. So yeah, even though like lots of people might get mad that I bought this book or that I'm promoting this book or something like that, I just wanted to see for myself what everyone was talking about. So, you know, I'm going to go in completely open eyes and I'm going to try to see what people have such a problem with, and yeah, so we shall see. My box is empty. Those are all the things that I got from my Barnes & Noble order, and now I just have a couple ARCs that I received from my local bookstore. I know I get so many comments asking me how I get ARCs from my local bookstore, and so I'll just give a really short version right here. Basically, I'm part of this program called Before It's Trendy. You can get ARCs from the bookstore and write reviews on them and have your reviews displayed in the section. And so that's where I got a lot of my ARCs. I also go to the teen book clubs where you are able to also get ARCs from publishers and stuff like that. So that's what I mean when I say I get books from my local bookstore. So the first two that I have here, I am so beyond thankful for, because if you guys watched my most anticipated fall releases video, two of these books actually, they offered them to me and I was just like, yes please. The first one is The Empress by S.J. Kincaid. This is the sequel to The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid, and I love that book. It's like this sci-fi book that follows this girl named Nemesis, and she is a diabolic. Diabolics are basically created to protect one specific person, so it's lots of fun, and I'm so excited that I have hold of the ARC, and I can't wait to read this. And next up is a book that okay, I'm not going to say I'm most excited for this book out of the books here, but I'm pretty excited, and that is This Mortal Coil by Emily Suvada. Okay, the reason why I'm so excited for this book is because everyone at my book club who has read it, there's like 4 people, says that it's now one of their favorite books of all time. They adore it. They love it so much. So I guess it follows this girl named Katarina, and she is a hacker. And it says, in Kat's world, people are implanted with technology to recode their DNA, allowing them to change their bodies in any way they want. And Kat happens to be a gene hacking genius. And then I guess there ends up being a terrible plague, and basically I think Kat has to race against the clock in order to try to hack this disease and cure everyone or something like that. And this cover and everything about this book is beautiful, and I'm going to be reading this extremely soon, trust me, because it sounds so good and everyone that I talk to has been loving it. So yes. Next up I got The Arsonist by Stephanie Oakes, and all I know about this book really is that it deals with grief, and I think that like these two teens have to team up to try to solve this murder from like 1989 or something like that, and I think it's about like all the connections between these characters, and like I said, about grief and stuff like that, and plus like this cover is so pretty, like I love it so much. And the last book that I have for this haul today is called Thornhill by Pam Simi, something like that. And this book has pictures in it. It reminds me a lot of like The Invention of Hugo Cabret. It's like written in that format. So it's like has lots of pictures, but then there's like also text that goes along with it. That's so cool. So okay. So this is a parallel story. So one story is told in pictures and the other story is told in text. That's why it's like half pictures, half text. That's so cool. So the first perspective follows a girl named Mary in 1982, and she is an orphan at this Thornhill Institute, and everyone gets adopted and rehomed except for her and this one bully, I guess. And then it also follows this girl named Ella in 2016, and she has just moved to a town where she knows no one, and from her room she can kind of look down on this Thornhill Institute, and she basically tries to find out about Thornhill's past and things like that. So this, I'm actually really excited for this. This is also a middle grade novel. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but it is a middle grade novel. Wow, from just reading that, I am beyond excited for this now. Oh my gosh. So there you guys have it. That was my fall releases haul and unboxing video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Let me know down below if you are excited for any of the books that I mentioned or anything that you want to talk about down in the description. Give this video a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new here. I am so incredibly close to 10,000 subscribers, and I will be doing a giveaway announcement video very soon, so look out for that. All my social media linked down below if you guys want to follow me on those platforms, and I will see you later in another video. Bye!